Welcome back, everyone, to MSU Esports. I'm going to be one of your kind of talkers for tonight, Wolfric.
Yep, and I'm Josh, and it's great to be back. A long break. Everyone got a little bit of rest, a little relaxation. Hopefully, the players did too.
Yeah, Valorant has also had some pretty significant updates. Actually, we have a brand new agent, Teo, who is a new initiator and everything, Colombian. Um, I kind of feel like they don't really feel like an initiator.
They are very aggressive. They have a lot of firepower, both literally and
Yeah.
metaphorically. Yeah, so it definitely brings a lot more offense. I think that's kind of something Valorant's trying to go into, just bringing a lot more firepower into the game.
Yes, yes. Abilities don't kill people. It's gunplay.
Yep,
Abilities just
precise,
set it up.
and then there's precise gunplay.
Yes,
Meanwhile, the stinger
yes.
still exists.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Stinger's been changed a little bit, so it's not as bad
True.
as it was when Neon first came
And
out.
don't forget, we ended pretty much directly on a full map rotation. So we're going to be introduced possibly to a new map rotation cycle. Uh,
I think
we might be in that.
Fracture is back. Pearl has been back since a little
Yep.
before break started. Let me see, what else is back? I think that's kind of the biggest one is Fracture
Fracture.
because people are kind of like trying to like remember like how to play Fracture and everything. Like
Yep.
you don't all go
Uh,
like
especially,
the thing of Fracture is that you can approach the site from two different sides.
it's a very unique
Yeah.
map. There's nothing like it, because there's no mid. There's two ways to attack a point still. So you have to really think hard on how you played this map before, how it's changed with so many new agents, right? My playstyle hasn't changed because I was a Cypher and Brim, but
Yeah. It's definitely I think with Teo out now, I think it's going to change how some play is done a little bit. Just even though, so their role is an initiator, which means their job is to make things happen in order to put the enemy in a position where it gives your team the advantage to get shots off of them and not have your team trade too significantly. The
yep,
problem I find with Teo is that he has three main abilities. You have a stun, a scanning robot, and then the mollies.
basically rockets.
Yeah, basically two rockets that recharge every 40
Yep.
seconds. The thing is that the 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 drone very much and it feels like an initiator
Yeah, that's
ability.
actually I
Like
feel like it's a better Skydog.
yes, well I mean it scans and suppresses,
Yep.
which is fantastic. It is line of sight, which is really dumb because it's not like the front line of sight. It's
Just line
line
of
of
sight
sight
in a circle.
around the
Yep, yep,
drone,
yep,
which
yep.
is kind of seems a little broken, but we'll see how they adjust Teo in the coming weeks and
Yep.
everything. Um, but the thing is that his stun doesn't really feel great. It's kind of clunky. It has a really bad like bounce to it if you need to get it to go somewhere, and there are a lot of other agents that can do a stun a lot better, especially initiator wise. Breach has a lot better stun, and Breach has a lot more util to set up for your team. Breach has a flash. Breach has a little area denial as well, but Breach has a really long stun. Breach's ult is also a huge sight stun as well. Teo, on the other hand, has like small stun.
Yeah.
It's about I would say like the size of a neon stun. It feels like.
Yeah.
He has the drone that we talked about, and then his primary ability are the double mollies, which do like tick damage
Well, I
for
think
60 damage. And you like, don't get me wrong, it is really good because you brim place it exactly where you want it to go. I just think the issue is that doesn't really feel like an initiator ability.
the idea of the agent is to bridge the gap between info initiators and maybe a breach displacements, where the idea is with the drone you want to reveal a lot of enemies' locations in a confined space. So maybe take Haven Garage. You could just send it in. It will scan basically the entirety of it, and once you know which nicks and corners they are, you have the abilities to displace them completely, where either they have to completely get away or they're gonna die.
Yeah, I think that's generally the idea that they had for Teo. I think just the problem right now is that, for one, Teo's drone is supposed to be invisible up until a certain point, but you can start to see it at like 15 meters, and it's very loud. And so I mean, especially at a higher level, at like say like the collegiate level, players are gonna know where that is and are gonna be able to take that out. And
Yep.
I'm not really seeing a lot of Teos actually use the drone for its intended purposes. I'm seeing it more used as like, oh, I saw people there. Let me use it now that I know there are guaranteed people there.
I've also just been seeing it used as, let's say, on defense. They just send it in the beginning of the round, not much intent behind it, just to maybe clear a
Yeah,
lane, but doesn't really get much information besides
yeah,
clearing one lane.
yeah. It doesn't really help. I mean, with say with like our other initiators, with KO, you have a recharging knife. So even if you throw it at like the beginning of the round to get a little bit early info, you're gonna get that back to use more info again. With Sova, you have multiple ways to get some info and everything. You have a recon dart and a recharging recon dart that'll scan, and then you also have a drone that also kind of gets a pretty good amount of area. Sky only has the dog basically,
But the
and
flashes also make
the
noise when
flashes make
enemies are
noise,
there.
but the flashes don't recharge anymore.
Yep, that's the
It's
big
only the
tragedy.
sound cue, and those each of those initiators are do pretty well, especially with their info gathering, and a lot of them do have recharging info, which is really important if you're gonna have an agent with info gathering. Meanwhile, on the other end, we have an agent like Breach, who is very much like no info at all. It is just displacement and setting your team up.
Yep.
To your end, like Teo, like is supposed to kind of bridge that gap.
They
Doesn't
kind of did it poorly.
it did, yeah. I don't think it landed. I think he is a great. I think he's a cool agent. His abilities are really neat. I just don't think he necessarily fits the initiator role very well. Now, to that end, tonight's game is actually the CVAL Great Lakes Grand Finals. Today is going to be MSU versus
Columbia.
yeah, Columbia. We don't specifically know which Columbia. There are multiple Columbias that all have the exact same name within the Great Lakes area. So once the match starts, we will know a little more because we'll actually know the player names and everything. But until then, kind of, what are you expecting? Kind of year ended, kind of MSU doing really well. Kind of overall, our players did pretty well in kind of all the brackets that we ended up. I don't really know much about Columbia, but how do you feeling about the new year?
I think, well, MSU has had a history this season of just being very dominant. Well, we had one loss. Oh, speaking of which, we're
Oh,
going into the
we're getting
game.
right into it. Okay, so generally, for those of you who are newer to Valorant or don't entirely know how the process works, generally these are best of 3 matches, which means you have to win 2 matches to win the overall series. So first, that means we have play 3 maps. First map is going to be Bind, a pretty standard map we're seeing, and we are seeing a Teo actually from Colombia.
And we were talking about this earlier, that like the question of if someone's going to play a Teo, now that he's out, and we know that he's actually pretty overpowered for the opening agent style.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing a little bit of a simple comp from Michigan State, something simple and strong.
MSU's comp is very much the standard, kind of what you expect, having the double controller from Viper and Brim, having the Sky, and having the Raze.
The KO
The
is
KO is going to be kind of the little bit of a different thing, especially initiator-wise. I think KO is going to be nice against this team comp from Columbia. Columbia only has 1 controller, 2 initiators, a sentinel, and a duelist. And for starters, their sentinel is Deadlock. I like Deadlock. I think Deadlock's a neat sentinel. The problem is that Deadlock, kind of like Vice, is very dependent on you having control of only one site.
And I also
If they go to any
Yep.
other site, you kind of start to run into problems.
and that's why a lot of the times, especially with deadlock comps, and an example would be Sentinels in their closing season, they used a lot double Sentinel, where they had the deadlock as a power punch, and then maybe use another, to add to that the defensive end, right?
Here comes the Sky Dog who's going to look out. KO Knife is then going to go scan for lamps. Isn't going to see anybody.
First Blood Love Story gets picked off by Legend, and we got 3 players around this area, but
Through the smoke
Frog.
gets 1.
Frog and Moonro. Speaking of Frog,
Quick rotate over. I don't think they realize that Teo is long. They're going to see it now. There come the mollies. Putting Illogical in a really bad spot for 60 tick damage each.
and some clean shots coming in from Moonro, but he is
Okay.
surrounded. He knows at least where one player
Yeah,
is.
he knows one is coming from T because he heard the door open, but he's not sure where exactly because Columbia is now going to play a little slow. They know they have plenty of time to work with, and that Moonro is going to be in a kind of a bad position here.
And it looks like they're kind of expecting
did see
Moonro
Evo.
to rotate, but with the spot, We are going to see the Rays come all the way back. I'd also like to mention, Frog shortened his name back to down to just Frog. You know, we know he used to have all that filler between it, but now he's simplified it.
We have
And
a timing
30
here. Munro's
seconds left.
clearing out. He does have enough time to run through TP. He's not going to take it. Oh, he's going to send it out.
the flash
Doesn't,
does not
doesn't
spot.
get anyone. He's getting sprayed through, and that's time pretty much. Round 1 goes to Columbia. That's kind of good. And we kind of saw Teo's kind of abilities really come through there. Not really an initiator, but more in a kind of duelist style. They kind of got the pick, and then they put down 2 mollies really close by because they know if the enemy team is there, they're going to jump out of that window into this area that the mollies are going to end up. Then we did see them try to use the stun, but because it has a
Immediately.
bounce,
Yeah.
doesn't really hit necessarily.
Yep. And yeah, it's just a lack of control of long that really got them. And you know a lot of teams really like to fight for the perimeters in this map.
Oh, bit of an unfortunate there. Legend gets a 2K there through the smoke.
And speak of the devil, they just fought for another perimeter. And still not clearing the brimstone. Might have a timing here. So
Number
swing
one
out,
is-
cannot connect.
Taken out by Switchblade. Quick trade by Moonrow, but Evo cleans it out. And second round to Columbia. Not without a lot of hurt, though.
Yep. And we are just seeing the perimeter control being taken by Columbia. They're fighting for both orb extremities. And that is what a lot of teams have been doing on Bind recently, where they just fight for the edges, try and control the orbs, try and control those spaces, because they have so much power when retaking.
I think with the agents that we have out currently, a little bit faster paced early game and then kind of stretching out than the rest of the round is kind of become kind of the meta. Just because you have agents that have really strong openers if you can get it. But if you don't get anything really off of that, then you just kind of wait and play. There we're going to see the Teo drone actually doesn't get anyone though, doesn't seem like.
Yep. And we see the Teo Deadlock. Deadlock is going to rotate towards A side, leaving it at the 1v4. We have the Teo
does hear
spotted.
Teo jump peeking.
Ready for the jump button. But
Ooh,
cannot.
just barely. Teo's able to get away.
And that's going to force 2 rotators off. Slam just chilling. Kind of just waiting for a push up. Not really looking like he's going to get any attention. And nothing spotted.
Deadlock trip does not go off. So Teo Slam gets one.
That's just completely off Slam's patience right
Does
there.
not see no Sky's there necessarily. Sky's hiding there, right towards Lamps.
Poison's off.
They
30
have to
seconds
be
left.
careful here. That lurk coming on Tejo, but there is awareness coming in.
Oh, they're gonna see from the Sky Alts where they are.
But
Slam.
not before he gets
Quick
one.
trade. Left Star takes out Evo.
Poison orb.
Carnage trades for Frog.
And both players in
Slam
lamps.
holding the Viper Molly. Logical
One
peek right
enemy
over the
remaining.
box.
Carnage at 1 HP. But so is a logical. Both have to take this fight very carefully. But Love Story cleans it up. And a first round going to Michigan State.
Oh, and Slammed hit number 1 again. Overall. They're not necessarily, yeah, Slammed is here. They hit number 1 Radiant
Nice.
again. Not many players, I don't think, can say that they hit rank 1 Radiant multiple times.
Well, it's also especially the fact that because they're doing this, you know, being a collegiate esports player, a lot of people don't play much ranked after they hit it once to get on the team. So the fact that he did make it,
Oh, all our players do nothing but play this game.
oh yeah. But normally it's associated to us.
See, even from from that distance where Sky and Rays are, they could hear the Teo drone walking around. I feel like that is a little too loud. Now, granted, does it kind of balance out the fact that the drone can both scan and suppress? Maybe. But if you're gonna have it be that loud, maybe shorten the distance before it can actually be revealed. Because 15 meters is a pretty good distance.
Slammed is spotted out by the Sky Dog. And he's just gonna play it so slowly. He is just biding his time. Patience being his greatest weapon. And we saw how it went out last round.
Slam's able to get a couple picks here. Columbia is being a little more cautious. They know Deadlock has pretty alright setup that'll slow any quick rush and buy them enough time. They're gonna flash the real quick short there. Not gonna scan anyone. Here it comes. Dodges the tail ult,
30 seconds left.
but does get caught. Blinded. Logical watching the smoke here. Here comes the tail ult.
But not gonna
Doesn't
connect.
get anyone.
Teo looking to walk out of that smoke. Smoke's about to go down, but is
Okay.
shut down.
Gets spotted by multiple. Ooh, Logical unfortunately dies to Carnage. Gets one.
Frog gets his timing.
Unfortunately has util in hand. Oh, Evo quick trades back from Love Story.
2v2.
Love Story's on 47, slammed, holding the long here.
Does he hear both?
Yep, he's gonna hear.
One enemy remaining.
Love Story gets one.
Player standing.
Gets traded by Evo. And
Oh.
Evo looking the completely wrong way and slammed, finishes out the round.
And there's that little iPhone cosmetic they added into the
That's
game.
the new update. Riot Games is kind of giving us more ways to spend money.
Yep. And I also think it could open up possibilities for collab and advertisements, where they could use that as a way to maybe add cosmetics related to collaborations, because they have done that before. You know, for an example, the Capcom with one of the most popular gun skins in the game.
We're seeing a bit of a standard kind of Viper Grim setup here with the wall and the molly.
Toxin screen down.
And the KO knife was broken in Bath, so no knowledge of who
Sky
exactly is
did
there.
use the heal though to bring Raze back up. Slam pushing up here. No one in Lambs gets beamed in the head from Evo with the Sheriff.
What a beautiful shot. And Evo just holding the line. The Brim ult is looking to come out, flushing out Evo. But Evo still able to scrap away with his life, but three are
There a
trapped.
bunch. Oh, gets the spray through the smoke before Brim can shoot off the molly.
That right there would be a check his PC moment.
Oh, gets barely caught from the ult. But then dies the
Another one.
Legends ult.
And another
Ooh,
beautiful
just manages to dodge the tail mollies. Sees one, gets one.
Player standing.
love story. Cannot
Ooh,
close.
Unfortunate there. Really kind of a little bit bad timing with kind of Teo on the flank there, especially then with the suppress.
And I feel a little bit bad for a logical getting double ulted.
That was a little excessive. That was excessive from Columbia. Especially this, I mean, they are early enough into this first half of the game where you can afford to spend ults and have enough time to get them back for the rest of the half.
Plus, that was actually their eco round. You saw
Yep.
2 kills coming from Sheriffs, which also shout out those beautiful shots with the Sheriff. And that really opened up the round for them.
Now
Which-
MSU's on
which was
their
the
eco
reason.
round. We're actually seeing pretty much 4 sheriffs and then not a lot of shields. They are banking on the fact they're going to be able to hit their shots. And we know our players can hit their shots pretty well. Does scan the deadlock with the
Toxin
KO knife.
Oh,
But
and they
the-
have to be careful of that op. It looks like an op.
There's a judge on from Carnage gets to takes out 2. Frog takes able to trade back. And the Evo then takes out Slammed.
And Love Story getting suppressed and spotted out.
Oh,
Frog.
unfortunate there for Frog.
And now it's all up to Love Story trying to get a little bit of value, trying to use the Guardian for some wall bang.
There's the stun, blinded.
And nothing
Columbia
can be
just
found.
using all the util to make sure they kill this man.
Yep, and we're just, and I feel like a big part of it is actually the deadlock right now. The util on that B side has been shutting down their hits a lot more than you really think. You know, it kind of actually shuts out their hookah flood, most importantly, which has been historically a really good attack point on this map, the hookah flood.
We're seeing a little bit of a different kind of play here from Columbia. Columbia's going to be a little aggressive with the Raze and Deadlock kind of here, ready to answer anyone. Both are going to get scanned from the KO knife. And they're going to pull back, but they are going to get their util back this time.
And it looks like they're going for a
Sky.
high-low.
Are going to see each other.
And Brim got scanned by it.
Looks like they're peeking, ready to double throw the util.
Grenade!
Not going to get anyone.
Uh-oh.
There's that stand.
And Illogical comes away with his life and finds one while he's at it.
That was really unfortunate for Columbia there. That's kind of why we see kind of Deadlock and Raze usually play together, because the Raze Snake can just take out anyone if they get caught in the Deadlock snare. Unfortunately, the Raze Snake just didn't get far enough, and Illogical was able to use a jetpack to get out. Here comes the KO wall to onto site to kind of shut down any abilities that Columbia might have and slow them down for anything. MSU is going to get the plant down. Ooh, we're getting some shots from heaven there. Down goes the plant.
My ult's ready.
And MSU did hear the TP. We do see one sitting right outside of it.
Checking lamps. Slammed watching TP.
He's just tucking away, waiting for that door to open. We're
Here
gonna see a
Brim
Brimble.
all come out. Does take out Teo.
Illogical in such a strong position.
Take out Carnage. Switchblade trades right back for Frog. Slam pulling back, trying to pull them away.
Enemy remaining.
Logical's then able to take out Evo. Love Story takes out Switchblade, and that is the round to MSU.
And that was just such a strong round by Illogical. Almost succumbing to the trap play, but able to get away just at the nick of health, finding a pick on their duelist Legend.
And they were able to get the Brim ult away from Columbia, which I was a little surprised from Columbia to use. I do think Brim ult is great on Bind, especially to like clear out a whole area and everything. But with the setup that MSU had and having pushed onto the site so much, I don't think it was in Columbia's best interest to kind of waste an ult like that.
Well, it's more the fact they used it just a little bit too early. They didn't have enough space to use it properly, and they paid for it dearly.
Cool, Logical almost takes out Switchblade there.
Out of charges.
And we are going to see a slow fallback from MSU, and we're going to see Slam just sit on that spot as per usual.
Columbia not rotating over. They are maintaining where they are and just waiting for MSU to kind of make more of a play and give out more info. There's a skydive. They see that it gets hit.
Logical has not popped over yet. Now he does, and he finds one. Knows one was heaven.
Sprays.
They don't know where Legend is. And Legend finds Slammed, actually. Legend.
Everyone kind of contained in these same areas.
And here comes the deadlock ult. He's
Misses.
gonna find one.
Oh,
Legend
gets
finds a
taken
second.
out.
And Love Story just gonna try and stall. Puts the molly down. Cannot plan. Cannot stick the defuse. But Columbia just cleans up house on Michigan State, bringing up to a 5-3 lead.
Gracias.
Really good use from Columbia for their deadlock util and having multiple people swing out an angle to not put themselves in a 1v1, put themselves in maybe a 2v1 or a 3v1 on certain angles in order for them to either trade or get the advantage and get the pick first. Kind of seeing MSU kind of economy kind of not doing too great. Columbia has actually two players that also have some pretty bad econ going on. Both these teams are really trying to like force and make sure they start getting a lead to make sure they have a steady economy.
Yep.
I've seen a little bit more same standard from MSU. There's a Sky flash from Columbia.
I've got your trail.
Here comes the Sky out. It's going to come scan out. Slammed is kind of waiting here. Spraying through the smoke. Does take out Evo. Oh, sees one. Turns away, though. Slammed. Sees Legend. Legend doesn't see them. Takes out. Barely doesn't manage to take out Raze there.
But the molly coming in, and he just gets a right click.
Yep.
Oh, and Moonrow, not the time.
Oh,
Switchblade finds
Slam.
one, and here comes the Teo ult. It's gonna clear out so much space. It's gonna look for his push up,
Takes
but
out Teo there.
and
Oh,
now the last
deadlock.
one.
On the
Going-
flank. None of them are watching.
None at all. This is worrisome, actually. He might have a timing, but
Oh,
he is spotted out.
sees him. Carnage takes him out with a headshot, and then Love Story trades, and that is the round to MSU.
Yep, and a beautiful round. I feel like MSU does have some sort of idea on how they should be going upon it, but they have these like small micros that just been punishing them over and over, and those are the things that they probably need to take some time, figure out what it is, and they will start consistently winning these rounds. But it looks like they have like the big picture, just need the small details.
We're actually seeing Columbia save here. All 5 of its members going with sheriffs and maybe some shields. Meanwhile, MSU is buying all rifles and shields.
The big question is, why is Switchblade going for Sheriff and Heavy Shield? Because he still has a lot of extra credits, even if he did buy.
Frog takes out the Raze drone. KO does get 2 agents on the knife. Meanwhile, we're actually seeing that Deadlock has not set up on B quite yet.
Poison's off.
Slam checking angles, clearing areas. Does see. Oh, just barely manages to not kill Legend. Legend getting away by the skin of their teeth is going to heal up from the sky up, but is going to have no shields left.
And they do retrieve the gun, which gives them 1 rifle, 1 hero rifle, while having numbers. And we're seeing an exchange of information, and they body block each other. Oh, and we see another type of combo with the Deadlock and the Tejo Molly.
Spike down B.
And it gets 2 on Frog.
One. Oh, Carnage trades back. Logical then trades for Carnage. Takes out Legend.
And now we'll see how Rank 1 Radiant plays.
Satchel out.
Takes. Oh, just barely manages to not kill Sky, and then Evo's able to take out Logical there. Both members of Columbia on 1 hit each. That's gotta feel bad for MSU.
Those are some tragic shots being missed.
And that allows Columbia to get some rifles onto them and kind of get their econ going. Meanwhile, MSU is in a lot tougher position with its econ, having to buy kind of sheriffs, and not even all of them buying sheriffs.
Yep. And one thing I like about Valorant is just their diversity in the agent rosters. So maybe we should throw out a question to chat. Is there a country that you want represented by Valorant coming up in a possible next agent? We'll just throw out a little chat, question for chat.
Of the tail mollies.
And we're gonna see.
The Deadlock wall in A, actually.
Yep, we're seeing a big switch up in where the players are, and the tail drone does scan both.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
They're able to take it out, yeah.
Oh, they did shoot it, but it still gives them a lot of info.
Taylor's gonna rotate over while Deadlock and Brim are staying on A. Skydog tries to clear through, gets taken out. Frog
might be
holding this
aware.
angle. Looks like Columbia is gonna push farther out of showers. Frog might be able to get a shot here. Little up, little up. Oh, does see. Unfortunately, Evo sees them before anyone else. Slam does hear them take an orb.
And that is, I believe, what you call Peeker's
Toxins
advantage.
going up.
Turning
Might be
away.
getting a timing again in that little bath crunch. First blood. Munro
Does
is
take a
able to
lot
find
of
one.
molly damage there, but is able to get on site and get the kill. Oh, unfortunately, Carnage takes out. But Illogical and Slam do get a kill each. But Karaz takes out Illogical. 13 seconds here. I think this is enough time
10
for them to
seconds
get
left.
down.
It is enough time, but both players are
Take
going to be
4
here.
seconds, 4 seconds.
And your teammate is late, so you're stunned up, you're trapped, nowhere to go. Taken out, but it is a 1v1 trade. Slammed all by himself, has a molly and has his ult. Has to possibly.
Does get a little bit of Switchblade there. Sprays through, just manages to tap Switchblade there. Quick spray through the smoke. Switching the secondary faster than reloading. Gets the kill on Switchblade for the 3K, and that's a round to MSU.
And that was his second last bullet
Last
available to
round
him.
in the
If he
half.
missed one, if he just missed those last 2 shots, or even had body shot on one of them, that would have been it. He would have probably fallen.
I think we're going to see the rest of the ults come out. This is the last round before map switch. on sides. So I think we're going to see a deadlock and the Raze ult come out from Columbia. I think Columbia is probably going to do kind of what they've been doing, kind of set up with the deadlock util, use the Raze ult, and then the deadlock ult to deny areas. MSU has 2 controller actually ults against an area. Here comes the early Raze ult, doesn't get anyone. Slan moving really far up, sees the hand through the smoke. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3! Columbia completely unaware. Monroe takes out Carnage, and then
Spike
Carlos is
down,
able to take
attacker
out
spawn.
Monroe. Love Story checking, does see them. He's the last one left.
The Brimstone ult is looking to come out, but gonna avoid it just slightly.
And Illogical takes out. What a beautiful 3K from Slam there.
Yep.
Switching sides.
He just had
Columbia
the
was
perfect
just
timing.
completely unaware.
But that also shows you just how powerful that Viper wall is in that spot.
And why
Gives
it
you
is
that
considered the
ability to just
standard.
walk up. Yep. And that's why it's been the set play for Viper on that map. There is no other exchange for it. And now we're going to see a map side switch with Michigan State playing the defensive end with the very typical comp, aside from KO.
And everything being tied up, actually. It is 6-6 round.
It looks like Michigan State might want to go for an aggressive play outside of the B hookah.
We'll see how it kind of plays out.
Yep. And we're going to see just a regular default coming out of Columbia. Without the Viper wall, it's going to be a little bit harder to take space and control space.
See Deadlock.
Deadlock in the corner. He is going to cage, but cannot find much more than that. Switchblade trying to come in,
Take
but
out Sky.
Illogical hitting some beautiful shots, and it is 2-for-1 trade. But a lot of
Frog
Michigan
is
State
getting
players-
shot at. He's going to fall back, wait for the team play.
A lot of Michigan State
Rays being
players
really
look low.
aggressive here and pushing up. No surprise.
And the TPs are coming in. 3 players do TP. Frog
Frog
finds
gets
one.
one.
but
Gets sprayed through the smoke.
A lot of Michigan State players are very low. No healer is found because he was the only pick, and Evo finding 2. Once taken, and Karis is able to clutch the round.
So unfortunate there for MSU. That was really close. Unfortunately, Columbia was just spraying through the smoke.
Well, the big
doing
problem,
what they can.
the big problem was all of them were low, and their Sky was the only player who got picked off, and that was just it led to all those spray downs through that smoke, because they were just 1 HP, nothing they could do. And we got a request for 2 Valorant. We want more Asian agents.
Well, let's see. We have Sage, ISO for China. We have Yoru from Japan. We have Neon for the Philippines.
Korea is Jet.
And Korea is Jet. Yeah, I think that's the only ones we have so far. What country do you think you would want to see from Asia in Valorant that we don't already have? Oh, here comes the Sky Flash. Does get the sound cue that it did hit someone.
We do see 5
There's the
long,
deadlock.
2 arcade.
Oh boy. Wow, great use of util there from all those agents off the deadlock.
And
Love
Love
Story
Story.
gets 1, gets traded right back, all up to Frog now with the classic.
Spike
And
planted.
it is a 1v4. And it looks like
There's a
Carnage.
deadlock wall. I don't think really. Oh, here comes the smoke down. Does manage to kill Carnage, but goes down to 22 HP.
And all by herself was the little bit of an ego play, and it was punished. But
Does see Switchblade. There's the Brim Molly lineup.
and as per usual, we do still got nerds in Valorant. Hey, I respect it. I do it too. I have them too.
I mean, it's a valid and good strategy. I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Well,
it's a safe,
it's-
it's a safe play.
It's a safe play, but it doesn't give you the adrenaline rush, you know. And I think
Oh,
that's
are you a
what.
bit of an adrenaline junkie in Valorant, huh?
Oh no, I do the same thing too.
Oh, okay.
If I had to describe myself, it'd be a word I can't use on stream.
Okay. Logical also making a really aggressive play for Orb here. Is going to get it, but meanwhile, Columbia is making aggressive plays for B-side again.
Columbia does like this B hit, and they
Legend
get
gets the
first blood.
headshot. Hearing all the util scan and find out. Takes out the dog. He's going to fall back. Is kind of trapped here from the deadlock wall. Gets full blinded.
Moonrose all alone has to
Spike
figure out
planted.
possibly if he can find Legend on his own.
Full blinded again. Frog takes out Carnage.
And the high-low coming in on this elbow play. But the flat out is going to come, and only one player on elbow trying to wrap is going to be the duelist. And the rest 3 players are all long. Frog able to trade out a logical. And the flank
One
is taken
enemy
out.
remaining.
One more is in hookah. The lineup is going to go down. Love Story trying to stick. Might be able to
Gets
get half.
half,
He does
gets
get half. It does not fall. And Love
Manages
Story
to
gets the
trade.
trade.
That's
And
the round for
with
Emerson.
the half, it is just enough to get the defuse. And Love Story being the hero, sticking through the flame and still somehow surviving.
Yeah,
that
on,
much,
on 8 HP no less.
that much I don't understand. I could see the stick to the half. I don't know how he survived because the Brimstone Molly does so much damage.
I think he just jumped. He's got movement tech. Unknown Brim movement tech. He's gonna be the new meta.
Can I get a drop? Can
Yep.
I get a drop?
Brimstone just that much of a tank, I guess.
Thanks.
Built different.
Oh, we also have Harbor is another Asian.
Oh yeah, Indian. Yes. Yep, definitely.
Oh, really early Teo there to deny area towards Orb.
They want to take this space, and a logical almost got his head cleaned off in the jiggle, but just avoided it. And now 2 players are in a bath, just taking control. And we're gonna see a deadlock, maybe possibly exploring hookah as well.
Frog just barely managed to see Legend, but Legend is able to get the shot off first.
Yep. Things sound so dumb.
Well, you can see there, Brim was our Brim was kind of far back enough, and even though the kind of jumped and was invisible, it was still at a distance where it revealed itself and not able to really do much.
And also the jumping did make it obvious where it was,
Oh,
so
slammed with the judge.
I like this.
Carnage check. Takes him out with the judge. We love to see it.
I love Judge
Here
Gaming.
comes all the util.
And Moonro taking the blunt force of that
Slam
nade.
hiding right on the edge of the window here.
1 HP stunned
Oh,
and is
gets
able to be
taken
found.
out.
And now 2 players are flanking. And it looks like we're going to see Columbia flood over too long as per usual.
Oh, logical.
a logical
Miami
here.
advantage. Oh, gets full.
Red,
blinded,
but-
gets 1, 2.
Illogical showing off his rank 1 Radiant
3.
skill. And now last one is confirmed long. It is a 1v2. The smoke does go down. Molly is going to come down. I think he missed. Oh no, that was our Brimstone's Molly. And that is going to be Michigan State clutching this round away from Columbia College.
Bringing it back up to more tied. This game has been really back and forth.
By the way, every time a logical makes a huge play, we have to mention rank 1.
Yes, both logical and slammed have hit rank 1.
Yep.
Before, so they are 2 really good players. I mean, the entire team is made up of good players. All of them have a lot of experience playing
Did
Valorant.
Slam hit rank 1 or did he just hit a higher RR?
No, he
He hit rank 1?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
Again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
And, yep, and yeah, MSBU has a lot of firepower in Valorant.
No one from Columbia towards B this time. They're making a kind of looks like some play for A this time.
And
Here
a lot
comes
of
the
ult.
Brim and Tail. Gonna hit nothing though. Is gonna clear a lot of area for them though. Unfortunately though, Frog gets 1. Quick trade back and forth. Evo was able to take out a little more with the stinger.
And they are gonna thirst for Frog, and it is 3 clean kills coming in from Columbia with those Spectres, or those Stingers, and the Sheriffs. And that is gonna reveal Slammed, I believe. And Moonro is stunned by Teo. Teo is gonna also molly Moonro. They are really bullying Moonro.
Oh, does see Tail there. Has a judge still. Gets 1.
Mollied off. I don't know if they know if
Ooh.
Last player standing.
Oh, just manages to not.
Enemy remaining.
Gets
He's
through the
acting-
wall. Not enough time.
Yep.
Muno's gonna try to get a little bit of more kill money though here. Takes the TP to escape.
And Legend also manages to survive, and that is going to be the lead going back to Columbia College, bringing it to a 9-8.
Not a huge lead, but it is gonna allow them to full buy this round. 4 rifles and full shield. Meanwhile, MSU's on a little bit of a harder buy here. They are looks like opting for shields at least, and then having kind of buying like what they can.
And and slammed with the Bucky. I love the Bucky.
We love seeing shotgun gameplay. It's so much fun.
Just there's the high adrenaline like Call of Duty kind of play style, right?
And we're seeing from Columbia B play again. Full blind on the sky there. They're gonna get the orb.
Slam showing no fear sticking that orb. And the other orb is going to be free to take if they so desire.
Here comes the Viper ult onto B site, kind of to slow down Columbia as much as they can.
And Moonrow getting hunted down.
Oh, unfortunate there. Legend takes out Moonrow. Evo then takes out Slam in the Viper ult.
This might be another round going to Columbia College with the site advantage. Not much spacing going on as they're going to be revealed by this Sky ult. And it looks like the save is going to and it looks like the save will occur for Michigan State as they run away. Yep. And it looks like they are sending out a deadlock to hunt, possibly for the ult points. That is going to be valuable going in late game every ultimate. And yeah, right now it looks like Columbia College has been opting to just overwhelm with util as their attack style. And it looks like a little bit of the rest of Columbia College are going to hunt more kills. But Love Story
gets one
headshot. And the rest are just going to hide, not opting to peek, not risking their weapons. And it will be a 2-round lead for Columbia College at a 10-8. And yeah, right now Columbia College has been playing this very well against MSU's style. So MSU has to make some changes. Still no timeouts have been called. I'm surprised a lot of teams don't utilize timeouts more often.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. I feel like in a lot of sports to use the timeout. Oh, Teo just barely manages to escape.
That nade might not be able
Carnage
to.
is able to take out 2 though, but Logical is able to trade right back. Logical barely manages to take out, and Legend goes Logical.
And we hear Legend rocketing all the way up to heaven.
Ooh.
Slammed is stunned, and that is going to be another round for Columbia College, picking up some momentum.
Columbia is doing a really good job, it seems like, of playing off of their util usage. They are, I feel like, using Teo not necessarily as an initiator, but more as kind of like a secondary kind of duelist almost.
Well, I think they're using his util kind of like how you would with a secondary agent's mollies or those kind of util. Maybe not so much as an initiator, but you know, like how a Viper would.
With their team comp, there's more area of denial from all of their agents. I mean, Raze has the nades and Mott. Teo has the mollies. Brim has his molly.
And another thing that's been going for them is those eco frags with the sheriffs and singers. And MSU has just not been able to replicate those kind of big, maybe even you could call it lucky, but those big
Story
picks.
takes out Legend.
Brimstone has been committed, and we are going to see 2 players make their way to the short. But the TPs are going to come in, but
Slam is still here.
Slam puts up his wall. He's going to try and tuck it away in long. But Columbia College probably is going to be aware of this. But
Logical takes out 1.
Not.
Slam takes out 1. Evo trades right back.
Hit him with a movement diff.
Ooh,
Evo
Logical
finds a
dies to
second.
Evo.
And now it's going to be a standstill between them. Who will bluff first? It's a game of chicken. And Evo will stick this plant.
Spike planted.
Are they aware of Love Story, however? Love Story
One
might be
enemy
getting
remaining.
timing.
Just managed. Frog
But-
just take out Switchblade.
I think he might be aware of where he went. No other
No,
option.
they're not looking. Not looking. Evo's got the 3, and he has both of his util for the post plant. Gets taken up by Love Story, though, and that's the round to MSU, bringing the score to 11-9.
Yep. And a great play by the flanks, making sure they time their flanks perfectly with the attention of the other 2 players in spawn.
I learned something.
We saw that both with Slammed. Unfortunately, Evo hit him with a movement diff. And then we saw that again with Love Story, with the standstill, with all the doubt going in on the players' minds. Enough time passed where they stopped considering that is an option.
Yep.
Yep, and it's just going to be on MSU to keep making those big plays, hitting the big shots, which they have been struggling with so far in this match.
Doesn't get anyone.
And they're going to keep walking forward. Is Switchblade aware of this? He is able to get one,
Quick
but
trade.
traded. But Moonro going down with
KO
so much
Knife
Yuto.
does pick up a couple people on A.
And you got to worry that, you know, Moonro went down with so much Yuto. All he used was one flash, so he still had Teal. He had his...
Oh, does see Raze.
Toxin screen down.
Oh,
And
does
slammed.
get seen by the drone.
That was just poor timing. That was just poor timing. That drone reminds me of like those little drones you buy as a kid, you know? Just one of those toys that aren't real drones, but kind of
Yeah.
more like those little robot figures.
And the one thing, like, design-wise, I feel like the drone is too close to Cypher's aesthetic.
Yep. Especially
Oh, Love Story does see.
well, more so I feel like it doesn't fit his like overly military.
Spraying through the smoke.
Illogical going in with the rocket, but is unable
Doesn't
to find
get
anything.
one.
And Love Story might be getting
Spike
pushed here.
planted.
I think one passed him,
Oh, yeah, no, completely in the smoke. No one noticed.
but he heard it.
Down Gets one.
But he's still unaware. Teo getting the flank timing.
Carnage takes out one.
Last player standing.
Teo takes out.
And now it's a 1v3. All of them are spaced out. Brimstone still has his Molly lineup just waiting. And the stall is just coming in. And they're kind of playing with their food right now. But it is going to
yeah.
be Columbia putting it on
Unfortunate
map
there.
point. We got a crying clove emoji.
Match point.
I think MSU is just a little unsure of how to respond to kind of this team comp, especially with Teo being so new. I think just teams aren't necessarily going to be ready for how to play around it.
Yep. Another big thing for this round is going to be Columbia's ult. And I feel like MSU haven't been playing perfectly well together. And you can kind of see that through the assists. Not many players, you know, you'd see at least the initiators in their smoke would have double-digit assists by this point. But the most 3 players have are 8. And here comes the rundown.
Unfortunately, there, Teo and Sky are able to take out MSU off the push there.
But this is what I was talking about those big shots on those ecos. You know,
Spike
they
planted.
need to be able to make those like one-tap
Last
sheriffs. They
player
need to get those lucky shots, if that's how you need to call it. And that is going to be it for
Unfortunate
Columbia
Hackers
College.
win.
Cleans up Michigan State on map 1, 13-9. And that was just really well played by Columbia College. And we saw a lot of how Teo would be played in this kind of scene. And it really gives you an idea on how that's going to affect the upcoming season more towards VCT, since that's coming up soon. But
Yeah, and we're going to also start kind of a new season as well for Valorant as well, in the collegiate scene as well, because this is going to be in the CVAL, and we're going to have, I think it's PEC, is going to start up soon. I think starts up next week. Yeah, I think this is kind of how it kind of goes. I mean, looking at the scoreboard here, Switchblade, 16 assists. Switchblade played really well with their flashes pretty much always hit. Their dog pretty much always saw at least one person. Carnage and Legend played off really well of each other, and they kind of knew how each other, what they wanted. Karaz played really well with the new agent. Seems to understand Teo pretty well for only having been out, I think, for like a couple weeks at this point.
Yep.
And played off. I think this team comp on Bind is really interesting because this isn't necessarily a kind of deny area space. This is more of clear as much space with as much ordnance as you can, and if anyone is left over, they're either really hurt or in a really bad spot.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of a good play into kind of how Bind has kind of been a little stagnant with his team comp, which has usually been controllers and sentinels. I think this team comp from Columbia really kind of counterbalances that.
But what I like is how a lot of the util is actually very centered around a deadlock, and that grab net gives so much value. And we saw that throughout the entire match with the not only the raise combo, but the Teo combo also works really well. It works well with the stall, and it works well with delaying pushes into sites. And so everything kind of falls around that deadlock, but it also allows the deadlock to let other players shine in their own ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really well constructed comp.
And MSU wasn't playing bad necessarily. It was just that Columbia seemed to have really good timing on their angles and everything. Every time MSU tried to use util or something to get kind of like a little bit of the peak advantage, as soon as they peaked, Columbia shot.
Yep. And we saw that especially during eco rounds, those sheriffs just ended up being so deadly, and they ended up winning a couple of them on MSU, just hitting those really insane sheriff shots against our team. So you got to respect that, you know. You always got to respect.
You gotta
your
respect the gunplay.
Yep.
Precise gunplay.
as they go full sprinting out with a stinger.
Yep. After having thrown all their util onto a site. We are going to take a little bit of a break as kind of the teams get ready for a second map. We don't know what second map is necessarily going to be. What do you think second map might be? Do you think we're going to see Fracture at all?
I think
this,
Fracture's a
or-
little too early. I think it's also somewhat of an unpopular map. I know I really dislike it because I like to hunker down on sites, but it's really freaking hard on that map. But yeah, who knows? I think we'll still go with some of the older maps, the ones that have been played a little more, because a lot of teams have experience. But who knows, you know? Because especially because it's new, you know, then it's and most people haven't played it. That's also a reason for people to pick it.
That is true. That's true. I think it'll be kind of interesting to see kind of what the next map here is, and if the. Okay. Really loud, Tyler. Really loud. I kind of, you know, I like Haven. I have a really high win rate on Haven, specifically with KO though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm fine with Haven. I know kind of just some setups with KO for Haven that make it a lot easier. But I'll be a little surprised kind of to see how it changes up, especially if Columbia is going to use Teo in this comp as well. Do you think Columbia is going to keep using Teo?
I think it might be a little more map dependent. I think because bind is you know kind of a little more tight, especially in a couple spots where people especially like to hide. For example, the lamps hiding spot. I think that allows Teo to shine a lot. But when there's a lot more spots that generally players hide, you know, it might be a little harder to replace what's say a breach where you can kind of take those space, especially on a map like Haven. Because I feel like Breach has looked very essential, especially on retaking, because that's been the play on that map. Retaking a lot of sites, Breach has been so dominant on those retakes. So I think we'll see, more likely see still Breach over a Teo on that map. But, you know, off-meta comps are still off-meta comps, and we're going straight into it, no break. And we'll see what they got. We got a Clove, so they are still going to go with the aggressive play. We got Michigan State going with their usual, and like I said, it looks like they're going to go for a breach. And Switchblade's playing Duelist this time. He was their Sky last round, so now he's going straight for Duelist, which makes you wonder what Legend might play.
They're kind of switching, maybe a secondary duelist or anything. Their kind of team comp is kind of fine. Their team comp would be kind of fine.
Nope, he's
Ooh,
going
okay,
for-
they're going to go double initiator.
Well, you need the
Very-
Sova. You need the Sova.
Both these team comps are pretty similar. I would say kind of the two real big changes are the Sentinel and the Controller. MSU has Omen and Cypher, meanwhile Columbia has KJ and Clove.
Yep, Killjoy versus Cypher. Both are really good on this map. I know some teams go one or other. I mean, the way I've seen it is kind of interchangeable, similar to how it is on Ascent. But, I mean, they both have different purposes. They have different ways of controlling, so it's all going to be dependent on how the rest of the team plays around it. The big question, I feel like, is... Well, actually, I have a question. Who do you think is better on Haven, Neon or Jet?
Neon is better for a lot of A play, especially on defender side. Meanwhile, Jet, I think, has a better time on B and C with her dash. So I think it depends on kind of the playstyle of the player.
I also think it's on how op reliant you are. Well, I'm not saying you can't op on Neon, because you definitely can. But
Style on him.
if you really like opping, then you might want to go more towards Jet.
Ooh!
What the heck?
What a flick on a Carnage there from Illogical.
That
Dashing
shot
onto
was
site.
illogical.
I'm gonna scan anyone they're gonna see there in the back there.
And it looks like the next maps
Oh,
are Haven
slammed.
and then
Is gonna
Abyss.
be able to get two.
Found my wire.
Come on.
Trigger
Gets
discipline.
two there. Fantastic from Slam there.
And Evo gets one on illogical.
Enemy remaining.
Right click for the win.
And Kara is all left alone. Is able to find one on Moonro. So now it is a 1v3. Slam taking his time. And it is
Oh,
just gonna
just
be
into a headshot there.
Yep.
First round to MSU.
Yep, and that's just MSU showing off their clean shots, their high level play.
Oh, it looks like the map after this is going to be Abyss.
Yep. I'm gonna see slammed with the Outlaw. Love to see that gun. And it's such a what the biggest value an Outlaw gives on round 2 is it makes you rethink how you're gonna play round 3.
Especially, yeah, because the Outlaw, like, deals so much. Like, the only way is to survive it is to have, like,
Full shield.
a full shield or through something. But Love Story on a really funny angle here on top of the box. Logical, kind of expecting. Ooh, Love Story just barely managed to get out of there.
And he is just gonna leave fast. They are all rerouting to A relatively quickly, but they're still gonna walk, not make noise. But
At
Columbia
this point,
College
they got a
pushing
full run.
up.
Columbia doesn't really have anyone on the side. They have a couple flankers and people approaching from the other side, but MSU's going to get onto this side scot-free.
Yep. But the question is, how well are they gonna hold their flank? They have no trip flanking.
Slammed
holding
is
flank,
watching the flank.
but it is a 1v3. He
With
does
the
have the
Outlaw.
Outlaw. 3, 2, 1. And he
Oh,
isn't able to
both
find
shots
anything.
missed.
And
Gets taken out from Heaven.
they might be able to retrieve that Outlaw, which could be scary for the players on MSU. The Breach Sun is going to come
Stun.
out, and a big shot by Carnage.
Last player
I keep
standing.
going back to this. Those crazy shots with the Sheriff. Columbia College just consistently has been hitting that throughout this series, and it has been the big game changer. Just these one taps with the Sheriff. Just absolutely deadly.
And there we're seeing a round 3. Oh, I was about to be like, we're seeing a round 3 up, but no, Switchblade is going to go full shield. I thought that would have been really funny if they went up round 3.
No,
that
he's
would have been
just gonna stick to
hilarious.
it. He's just gonna.
Well, they know it because MSU is going to be pretty much on a bonus kind of save round that they pretty much aren't going to really have any shields. So the Outlaw is going to do a lot of damage if they can find the kills.
Yep.
Reach stun.
Fine.
Does manage to dodge the scan from Sova. Slam just kind of waiting here.
Logical
checking
taken out
along.
by Carnage. And we just got another slowdown coming in
Slammed
from
might
Switchblade.
get the flank on Jet.
But will he clear it? Is he aware
I
of that
don't
timing?
know.
He might be.
No,
he
it's-
might be.
Oh,
Is he gonna clear it out? The gun barrel is gonna
Oh,
be
does he?
seen.
No,
And
Does
there is
take
it.
out.
And that's Ace Light completely taken with Slammed as the lurker. He has been doing so good at that role.
they're going to hear Columbia rushing over. Meanwhile, Columbia, I think, is going to wait a little bit, try and play for the retake after MSU gets the plant down. There
Here
comes the
comes-
breach stun.
But
Love
they aren't
Story
gonna flood out.
picking up the Outlaw. Sprayed through the smoke, nothing hit.
Cage
The flood is gonna looks like it's about to start.
Ooh,
Big
nice
shot.
headshot.
Moonro taken out by the Sova Dart though. Gotta be careful. 2v2
Takes
now.
out, Sand trades back.
Player standing.
And there
And
it is.
fantastic kill there from Sam.
That little body shot spray down with the Spectre.
Really good thrifty for MSU here. That really puts them ahead in terms of econ.
Yep, both teams had a big thrifty, and I think we might be getting into 2 buy rounds actually. Into a buy
Kind of
round.
seems like a. Oh, okay.
And
We're gonna
we're
have a
doing
quick tech pause.
Yep, we are gonna get tech pause, so I guess we're coming back to us.
That was really good thrifty from MSU. That
Yep.
was really nice. It's really funny that Slam was able to like very quickly get in that little corner, and then it's just enough past that kind of from sewers where Switchblade doesn't see them in the outlaw scope, and then he just kind of continued to meander as the rest of Columbia rotated away from A, leaving kind of Switchblade in kind of a vulnerable position as they heard MSU kind of making plays in garage.
Yep.
And that allowed Slam to just go all the way around. And then just before MSU was going to kind of go into the line of sight of Sewers, Slam looked, cleared it for them, took out Switchblade.
Yep. And I like the awareness that he realized he had to clear that space for his team. Because if it were me in that position, I'm going into their spawn, I'm getting into their back lines. I will kill someone as they rotate, not as they, while they're in that space. Because I am greedy.
Yes.
And
Reading
that-
for the kills is fantastic. Is not a bad thing. It just
Not good for your team.
Yeah, it's not great for the team. All right, we're back into it.
Brack.
Shush, you didn't hear nothing. We're back into it. But it kind of no team kind of has any alts online yet or are super close, which I'm a little surprised by with how much kind of gunplay we've been having. Here comes the breach stun, dodges it, does get scanned by Sova. Love story in a bit of share. Ooh, there's the op shot.
And we're just seeing a slow play by both teams. Slammed. Looks like he's trying to get into another cheeky spot.
Slam might get Evo here. Love story just holding this angle.
Can never be too safe, right?
Ooh. Ooh.
And both players just holding each other. They're basically both aware of their existence at this point.
Well, they have a cross
Yep.
there, so
Yeah, Evo's just waiting for Slam to go
Comes
out
out the
at
clove
any
smoke.
amount.
Slam just sitting in the smoke, kind of waiting to see if Columbia's going to make any plays. Looks like they're going to make... So a drone going out, not seeing anyone.
Slam fears
Logical.
no man
I know
as he gets Evo with the lurk play. And that is going to get a Cypher ult available. Slam
Ooh,
looking for
Slam.
another, but he is just going to
30
stall,
seconds left.
play his
Switcheroo
time.
with the op
Moonrow
behind.
finds a second.
He's
Are they
got an
will?
op, he's got an op.
Gotta be careful of that op. Just tucks away in time.
Remaining.
Slam finds a third switchblade, gets a logical, but he is just gonna run and
Yeah.
save.
Wants to save that op. That op is going to make a huge difference as the rounds continue.
And Slam just fearing no man whatsoever. And,
Switchblade might be able to get one here.
and I think this map really showing the value of a good lurker, you know. And I feel like that's a very, well, I mean, partially underrated, partially just hated playstyle that people don't like going into. And there's
Gets
another
one.
thing. Switchblade is gonna flee, but he is gonna be met halfway in. He is ready for it. The blind is not able to find it, and it is gonna be a third kill on Love
no.
Story. But he goes down to the
he
spike
does lose the
with
op,
Slam.
though.
So pretty big hit on the economy for both teams, but the big thing is the op went down.
That is a huge problem. I don't think Columbia was expecting the bomb to reach them there. I think they're like, okay, we got a couple kills, I can survive here. And then the bomb went off, and they died.
Here's the question: do you think it was worth the I think it was 4 rifles to get that one op off?
Yes, because it put Columbia in a really bad position. They have to save by here, and
Yep.
that gives MSU a really good advantage with rifles and an outlaw.
As long as they don't do their sheriff shenanigans that they've been doing.
Paper thin walls here on Haven.
Yep.
Oh, Slam turns just away.
Now they're basically side by side. Oh, this cam.
Doesn't see.
Oh no! Slammed.
Oh, unfortunate there. Didn't look to the right on the cam and didn't see Sova.
And that is going to be an outlaw retrieve. But it does not matter that
Logical.
much as the entry is going on the opposite side of the map.
They are going to get the plant down.
And Sam got a little bit of a jump scare from the turret, it looks like.
Oh, does see KJ.
There
Takes
you
him
go.
out. Shots kind of going a little wide there. Sheriff's taking care of things.
Oh
Legend with an
my.
outlaw.
I keep saying this, it's those sheriff shots, man. It's those sheriff shots. And Columbia College keeps pulling away with it. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they turn into a bunch of tens and Zekins as soon as they pick up a share.
And there's the op again. We're seeing Switchblade bring out the op again. That round win got them a good amount of money, so it's going to put them in a really good position. Meanwhile, MSU's economy is kind of in the tank right now because of that.
They do have 2 ults, and they're close to 2 more, but I mean, Columbia College has almost all of their ults almost ready online. So it might be a little bit tough for Michigan State to get away with this cleanly. We are going to see a logical with the hero rifle with the Guardian.
The breach stun is going to get scanned.
And we're going to see a lot of aggression coming out into garage. Space is going to be taken. No one plans on challenging it. But there is this Killjoy turret, which is going to be broken. We hear the op shot going off, and you got to be careful of this Clove, who might just get a lucky timing.
None of them checks.
Last player standing.
And it is just a
Spike
cleanup
down, C.
with a little bit of
Ooh,
negligence.
Logical just dodging the op shot there.
And I feel like a big story for both of these teams right now has just been the lack of clearing angles.
Ooh, unfortunate kill there.
And just
Yeah, MSU keeps getting caught out and like just not checking these really close angles and everything.
yep, and cool.
Actually, never mind.
And then kind of on a basketball related note, the Michigan, U of M and Minnesota game is in overtime.
Yep.
Do you have any fantasy team, any players on?
Well,
for
we
this
don't
game?
got it for college, but we do have it for.
I mean, you could just say, you know.
Well, hey, you know, as a team in the green, you know, we do hate the blue, right? And
Yes,
we are
but
also.
we hate Minnesota more though, because U of M is in our state still. Minnesota's over there. I'm saying. I mean, that's my opinion. It's if we're up against U of M, if we're up against U of M's dog water. But if we're up against anyone else outside of Michigan, we have to vote for the locals.
Listen. When you get jumped, I was a.
Hey, at least I'm born in Michigan. But you know, to that end, I mean, U of M last time we looked in the basketball game was actually a little bit ahead of Minnesota. I'm kind of impressed that Minnesota was.
Well,
able
right
to
now
bring
in the
it back.
conference, Michigan and Michigan State are tied for #1 in the Big Ten. Michigan State is ranked higher currently, but both teams are ranked in the top 25.
We're better. But we're
and
better.
On the other hand, Minnesota is actually the bottom-ranked team in the Big Ten, but they have also given fight to other schools. I believe they actually took Ohio State into overtime as
We're
well.
seeing a Jedka ult come out from Michigan State.
Revealing area.
So Minnesota just can't close games this season.
Ooh, Sova ult does scan 2 people. We're seeing a Sova ult come out as well.
But Ult cannot find any value,
Well,
only tagging the Killjoy.
Yeah, tagged Killjoy, which isn't, but something.
80 damage.
Something.
And then
MSU
we are going to
making-
see a slow approach towards A site. It is being given up relatively. It looks like they plan on a flood take instead with the 2 initiators, possibly.
Yeah, Columbia has more than enough ults to retake a site. It's just, you know, they are going to hear the jet dash, so Columbia is going to know where they're there. Logical has an ult, ready to do something.
And
Being aggressive here, waiting for someone to push a smoke.
well, since they have so many ults,
Ooh,
it
gets
is a good
sprayed
play.
at through the smoke. There comes the KJ ult. Ooh, unfortunate there.
And 2 go down. The rest have to retreat. It is going to be open
Sam isn't
site,
going to make it. Oh!
but they're scanned out. They survive. Not a good situation. Karis takes on Moonro, and the rest have to save, and that is going to be the lead to Columbia College. Yep, and Michigan State has just been on the mercy of Columbia College. Their retakes have been so deadly, and Michigan State just not able to find their shots at the right times.
It's just been really unfortunate timings whenever MSU tries to peek an angle. There's just multiple people there, so they don't really have the advantage, and Columbia's just ready for someone to push.
Too eager. Forgot the spike.
We gotta see if Michigan State can make any adjustments.
There's the breach stun. Sova scan doesn't get anyone.
And he's gonna go he's gonna stick right inside the smoke. Looking for a chance.
Oh, does see, does quick trade back and forth. Carnage takes out Slam, Logical takes out Legend.
Yep, and we are gonna see some aggression
Oh,
coming from the Clove.
into window. Oh, just unfortunate there with the Guardian.
Down A.
And another taken out. Love story.
Player
The
standing.
third is
Takes out the
found.
third. Logical is able to take one out though. Dashes forward. Unfortunately taken out. That's kind of the issue that can happen with the Guardian against an automatic, is that just because the Guardian's rate of fire is a little slow and it's kind of aim kind of correction that happens once it starts firing is a lot more than a Phantom or a Vandal.
Alternate solution. Hit your shot.
Yes, just be better.
Exactly. Yeah, and we are just seeing a lot of struggle coming in from Michigan State.
Columbia has a really kind of set solid kind of econ here, so even if they lose this round, they're still going to have more than enough next round for a full buy.
And the big thing is Michigan State really hasn't been able to get a read on where the players want to play.
Switchblade watching this angle on window with the op.
We're gonna see another garage take. Carnage just gonna back away. Switchblade finds Slammed. Slammed just becoming a victim. And it's just gonna be a slow de-escalation from the Michigan State players.
Gonna go grab the Vandal. Still a minute left in the round here. Legend pushing up towards A long. They do see him, and he's just gonna run away.
Blocking sight.
Don't see any of them.
Logical doing a little bit of damage. Switchblade is holding with the op.
Just still gets hit by the breach ult. Sam takes out Evo.
30 seconds left.
And the trades are coming in. Plant still has to go down. 30 seconds left.
Last player standing.
Carnage is able to take out from jumping down.
A.
I think
Carnage with the
was-
3K.
Did Carnage jump down or did he flank?
I think
I think he flanked because he also didn't take fall damage, which would likely
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
And the
Well,
other
no,
pla-
unless they jump onto the box on the side there.
But he also did kill the first person planning on default, which means he would have had to have been behind it.
I'm not sure. It's either they were on the flank or they jumped down and got people while they were stunned.
Chat, we pay attention very well to our matches, and we very much care.
Well, we can't see everything. We
Yeah.
I only have 2 eyes.
Well, we,
I only got
it's-
2
it's- if only we had like a map that kind of showcased where every player was.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can do that. We can kind of see all the util and everything set up. Columbia is kind of just knows kind of MSU has to make plays, has to push areas in order for things to happen.
It's logical
Spraying
just gets
through
sprayed
the
through
smoke gets a kill.
And I do not like this position with the jet
Ooh.
Switchblade with the op pushing up right behind the trip.
Last player standing.
And some whiff shots, just
Spike
no
down mid.
momentum coming on the side. of
Slam gets a
but
nice
Slam
headshot.
finds one.
He's
Give it
full
a chance,
blinded.
and he finds one. Switchblade.
Oh, gets taken out by the Bucky. I mean, the
looked-
Shorty.
It looked like he wanted to knife, but
And then
as soon
just-
as he turned around, pulled out the shorty. Yep.
Just unfortunate there. MSU kind of trying to force buy with the rifles here, kind of putting themselves in a really kind of awkward position here for econ-wise. If this next round doesn't work, MSU's going to be in a really tough position.
Placing sentry.
Granted, there are only like 3 rounds left in the half, but those couple rounds can make all the difference.
Yep. Yeah, right now, a lot of the players on MSU are just getting completely shut out. Not much they can do about it. We're going to see aggression on the perimeters as we see a push coming in on C site and a positions play by Switchblade. Walking up A short. He has an off. He has to be careful. Not looking his way, and he finds this one
Blocking sight.
on Sam, but Illogical did get a pick right before. Make it a 1-for-1. Carnage finds
Spike down.
Moonrow
Attacker spawn.
and backs away into Garage. Is now a 4v3 favoring Columbia College. Cypherwood is gonna go down, spot out some players,
Ooh,
and
gets
Love
the
Story
kill.
gets the wall bang. Seaside is gonna be completely empty. We see one going in through garage, maybe trying to see if he can find the timing through the smoke. Breach stun is gonna go down. He swings out. No one is aware. Has to be careful. He is tucked right behind that box. I don't think Illogical knows about this.
Sees
He
the
does now,
gunshots.
but he whiffs his
Oh,
shots.
no.
Evo finds Love Story. One
Sam gets
down.
one.
And
Oh,
it is going to be
unfortunate.
8-3 for this round. And in the last round of the half, Michigan State put in a pickle.
It's going to be a pretty tough kind of last round. I think MSU still has a pretty good chance of coming back. It's just going to be
Last
a little
round before
hard.
the
I think
switch.
mental-wise, I think it's a little rough.
Well, when MSU is hitting their shots, it is really hard to stop it. But that is also sometimes a problem. They don't hit their shots. I've said this before, and then they started hitting their shots later into the game and immediately started winning. And I think that might just be the problem right now, especially when they're on their egos or when they don't have the best guns. They still need to maintain their shots. They need to hit the headshots with the Guardian, with the Sheriff, and they just aren't able to do that as well as Columbia College. And we are going to just see de-escalation from both teams. And just Illogical get caught jump peeking and taken out with the op. Carnage is taken out by Slammed, however, and now it's back to a 4v4. And we see a spread out coming in from Columbia College, being careful of where the openings are. Love Story might accidentally challenge the op on Switchblade. Has to be careful peeking this. He's going to maybe jump spot this, but it looks like MSU wants to group up towards C. Just have to really be careful of this op. He's going to drop down. He's going to swing. Is he going to get one? He's going to get one on Love Story.
Unfortunate.
But Slammed might have the timing. Will he find one?
Slam gets Evo. Switchblade gets a third.
Oh
What a flick
my.
from Monroe, though.
Last player standing.
Oh, Karis,
Slam.
but Slam's able to get the 3K back.
And
Oh,
it
gets
is gonna
taken out
be-
by Legend, and that first half is to Columbia.
And it is going to be 9-3. We all know about the curse. It's been a thing for 4 years now. Approaching 5.
No, it is 5 now.
Is it 5? No, I think.
It came out 2020.
Yeah, but what time 2020? I think it was late. It was later in the year. So
I don't know.
I think it was May.
Number-wise, it's been 5 years.
Hey. We'll just round up to 5, right? We'll just round up to 5. So it's been about 5 years now.
It'll be interesting to see kind of what Riot decides to do for the 5-year anniversary for Valorant.
Yep. Probably put out more skins that cost a lot of money.
Yep, price has been slow going up. But,
Here.
you know, we're not sponsored by Riot, so, you know.
Yeah, we just really like their game for no reason.
Oh, no, it's for good reason. It's a fun game. Ooh, okay, update on the U of M Minnesota game. We're in double overtime. Oh, okay, actually, scratch that. Minnesota won.
That's a huge win.
That's
and
a big upset.
and that's also probably going to put Michigan out of the top 25, so they're going to lose their ranked number.
I don't know. It looks
They're
like
ranked 20
I think
currently.
they're ranked 20, but Minnesota isn't. I don't think currently.
They are currently unranked,
Yeah.
which is going to be a big loss. And yeah, Minnesota. Yep, they hit a
Ooh.
buzzer beater 3 to close
What a
out the match,
finish! Loved it.
ending 81-84.
Sam is able to take out Carnage there.
But yeah, that's definitely good. That's going to put MSU as the undisputed #1 team in the Big Ten. So go green, I guess.
Yeah. Go green. Go away.
And
Oh, Slam gets another one.
Slammed. Always aware, always getting good lurk timings if he's given the chance. But sometimes in this match, he's just not given anything. And Illogical finds one. Sam, too, finds another. Legend gets one with the right clicks, but Moonro able to trade it out.
Great first round from MSU.
MSU needs to use this as a reset, needs to use this as a way to bring back momentum to this team. They know they can hit the shots. The question is, will they?
Yeah.
And the question is, will Columbia hit the shots?
Columbia actually was kind of doing the bit of the issue that MSU had in not checking angles when they move in somewhere. That's how the Clove died to Slam. Didn't look.
Yes, sir. Well, actually, no. He was Illogical was scanned out by the Sova dart, so he was aware. He's just
No, slammed. Slammed
oh
killed
slammed.
Clove.
Oh no, slammed. Yes,
Yeah.
it was Illogical who was scanned out, and somehow still got the diff.
Just better team.
Yes, sir.
I
And
must
we're
wait
gonna
for
see
more.
a
He's
few
gonna
players
see a
going
bunch
garage.
there.
Has to be careful.
Ooh,
A lot of
does
damage
see a
going
bunch.
around.
He's gonna get
stunned.
stunned.
Cage triggered.
But Carnage
Carnage.
finds Moonrow. First blood goes to the side of Columbia
Sam
College.
trades back.
And they are going to de-escalate. Switchblade with a shorty, ready to get this pick if anyone dares peek him.
Illogical is ready in case they kind of want to push through there. Jet is kind of lurking still in garage with, I think, a shorty.
That is a shorty, yes. If anyone dares peek him, he will take their entire jugular off.
Mhm.
But Sam too,
Oh,
in the
Sam.
same spot that
Does get the kill. Slam then is able to trade left. Sorry, takes out Switchblade.
and now last one is just going to be in spawn.
19 health.
Kind of confused on what he needs to do.
Oh, does see slammed there far away. I think they know they're not really gonna win that long range gunfight against a Spectre. He's getting
Just gonna
sprayed through the wall.
He's gonna smoke
30
his back
seconds
off. That's what they think.
Oh,
No, he's just gonna get
dies to
hunted down.
slammed.
Slammed, putting on a masterclass this map.
And MSU only losing kind of one member there. That's gonna bring their econ forward a little more as we go into the bonus round.
Yep. And we see a judge coming out from Switchblade. Looks like he's favoring. Oh, never mind. He's switching to the Guardian. It looks like he's playing team. It's really hard to play with a team with a shotgun. I've tried. Trust me.
Yeah, you need to really like.
Coordinate that.
Yeah.
I wish it was easier because I would do it a lot more, but unfortunately, not an easy thing. It's possible if you, especially on eco rounds when you have a plan built around it, but on regular plays it's not easy. And we see a logical with the outlaw holding the angle. This could get a lot of value, but he's gonna get stunned off his
does
spot.
stun. I think did see though that there were some out there.
Well, the stun on its own will give a decent amount of information. A logical getting ready to get a pick.
Oh,
Trying to
does
find
see
the
the
first
peek.
blood. Gets
Misses
140 on
both
breach.
shots.
No, he finds 140 on the breach.
Oh yeah, did tags the breach.
Blood out is gonna come in. Some big shots coming
Unfortunate.
in from Columbia, and it is now a 4v2.
Spike planted.
But Columbia has two members who are really hurt. Left Story's able to take out one of them.
But now on 10 HP, very low, and it's up to him and Slammed. Slam trying to find that little extra damage, while Love Story fakes a TP. And he's just holding the angle.
Sprays through.
Last player standing.
Oh, unfortunate there. Really close for MSU though. That was really like well done. I think it was just a little bit of just
Wrong guns.
well that and just not hitting the shots.
Yep.
The
Yep.
outlaw that MSU had would have done a lot of damage to Columbia if it had managed to hit all the shots. I think not being able to kill the breach there in the mattered a lot because the breach util has been really huge for Columbia.
Yep, it's been very impressive. Don't let the assist fool you. He has been putting in work. He should probably have twice the amount he already does.
Spike dropped.
Oh, and one of the Columbia College
We
players
have,
dropped their
we have
gun.
logical on the op actually.
Yep, but we are going to see a lot of pressure coming in on the garage take.
Camera taken
Cam
out.
is going to spot out 2, maybe 3 players. Bloodout is going to catch his
Yes.
trip.
One.
Don't worry.
And Carnage trying
This
to
is why
push
we
up.
love the Cypher trip.
Carnage has been such a great fragger this game, and last map as well. So he is going to look for another kill. Is he going to find one? No, he's not, but not able to be taken out as well. And as he backs away just very slightly.
Ooh,
logical
op shot
misses the
just
option.
missing there. Carnage takes out Sam. But Slam is able to trade right back and taking out Perez.
And now we see 2 players walking up B site. Gotta take some space.
Oh, Moonrose sees one.
And Legend
Take flight.
hiding in the corner, trying not to be seen. He's gonna try and sneak into the smoke. I don't think he was seen. Meanwhile, Evo gets the flank on Love Story, kind of unaware.
Oh, doesn't know. He's gonna check.
Oh, he
a
was
bit
not
of-
ready at all, and he panicked.
I think that was a bit of like just a weird equipment malfunction because it looked like he
30
went to
seconds
turn
left.
and then for some reason
Remaining.
zoomed in. Logical gets one. Ooh, just misses.
And he's just running. He needs to
Not
make
wanna
sure he's
give up.
alive. And what they don't know is we have one on the flank slam, able to get the backstab.
Great
That is another
3K.
round for Michigan State, putting it at 10-6.
MSU is bringing it back.
Yep.
Slan with the most kills actually in this game so far with 17.
Yep, his lurk timings, his awareness on their lurk timings has all been putting things together, and it has been working for him, and he has been leading the few wins that Michigan State has won so far. And hopefully he can continue leading them into this possible map win into a map 3,
Yeah.
which would be Abyss.
Looks like Columbia is actually gonna go A this time. Ooh, just barely doesn't manage to see them from the smoke going up.
I think he might have done the gun switch a little too early.
Oh, Slam does see Carnage there. Bro has some contact here. Slam does take out Carnage. He's gonna use the ult.
Yeah, but Carnage is
You're gonna
someone
see
you have
all
to.
of them right there in sewers.
Carnage is definitely a player you have to respect. He's been hitting shots all game, so you have to make sure you play very carefully, not play too foolishly, and that is exactly what Slam did. And we see a low, slow walk up going in.
Perez
from
really
inside.
pushed it up far here with the bomb. If they die, it's gonna put Columbia in a bit of an awkward situation.
Here is not seen by the drone at all. Still tucked in that corner, unaware is MSU. The flood is looking to come out, and
Ooh,
Karis
Perez.
finds one.
Right. Oh, here comes the glow vault.
Yep, and will it be MSU to just flee?
Spike planted.
Karis finds a logical love story, finds a trade on the second kill on it,
Last player standing.
Unfortunate.
and now it is slammed. They are very nervous of that flank that Slammed has been doing so far. They don't have much control of their flank. They don't know if he's long, and they very much respect Slammed right now. As he slowly approaches, he's gonna go up heaven. Spike time ticking down, not much time remaining. Has to make a play soon.
Gets
Finds
one.
one. Second player low,
Oh,
but not able to.
unfortunate. Thrifty from Columbia there.
I think if he found Switchblade, I don't think he would have won. I think Sova did have ult. Yes, he did.
Yeah, Sova
But he
had
would have
ult.
burned ult, which would have been
Really-
just
really
as
good.
which would have been second most valuable thing you could do there.
MSU kind of on a bit of a save round. We're going to see some Sheriffs and a Guardian come out. Meanwhile, Columbia has a bit more of a comfortable buy here with rifles and full shields.
Yep, and this is going to be MSU's chance to hit some shots with those Sheriffs, with the Guardian. And, you know, so far they haven't been doing that well, but they need to make the play.
Yeah.
Logical, trying to get a timing on the turret,
Doesn't
and he
get
does.
spotted by the turret.
But he gets
Turns
spotted out by the player.
away. No.
Carnage aware of it, and he finds Love Story as well before Sam gets a
Player
trade.
standing.
But two more go down, and it's all up to Moonrow, who is out of position with only a Marshall in hand. Drone not able to spot him out, and he
Ooh,
finds one.
Gets one.
The plant is going to go down on B, and he's going to get smoked off.
Spike
All three
planted.
players are going to be on site.
It's a bit of a difficult situation for MSU to be in, especially with a Marshall. We know Munro has, in the past has used pretty good shots, but against 4 people, it's going to be hard. Gets one shot on, gets a kill.
Revealing area.
And they really want this
Scans
Marshall out of
clove.
his hands.
Oh, shot goes a little wide. Oh, unfortunately tries to right click, but not enough. And that puts Columbia at match point for map 2.
Match point.
Yep, and they are just stealing away all the momentum that MSC were building up.
They want to take this out before map 3, and
Slam
they
still does have the most kills.
Yep.
I think it can be enough. I just think it's a little hard for MSU right now to kind of deal with kind of this kind of setup. I mean, Columbia is playing really well off of their util. They're using everything, and then MSU is having a little hard time responding to it.
And I think it also goes down to the simple part of just not hitting their shots. You know, there are some moments, you know, and of course, you know, you don't expect them to hit most, you know, all or even most of their shots.
Gets one.
My ultimate isn't.
Gets two. Gets killed by his own Sova.
But Sam is taken out,
Misses the shots on Clove there.
and that has been the story of tonight's games so far.
Oh, spots one. Are they gonna go Jet's up there? Does get the Jet.
Enemy remaining.
Does get the Clove.
Knows where the last one is, and he
Gets the
finds it.
Sova.
A logical, actually hitting his shots.
putting MSU another round up and staving off the end for Columbia.
Yep. And definitely a panic play by Sam, who looked a little unprepared on that push into backside, whiffing some shots. Needed to hit his shots there, but
I don't think Sova meant to kill Cypher there with the ult. I think it was just a bit of an unfortunate bit of a timing there.
well, it was because all the players were already grouped up in that spot. He was in with the judge. What can you do?
Yeah.
But Slammed has 21 kills, has more than double his next best teammates. So, his back might be hurting just a little bit this game. You know?
Sam's putting in a lot of work here, especially on a Sentinel.
Yep. So Cypher does have a lot
Here
of
comes
frag
the
power.
Jet ult. Columbia kind of making a quick push here to try and kind of see what they can do, catch him out. Slam kind of waiting here with the judge, has a pretty good option.
Columbia College heard the pressure and they are going to speed up.
One, those Jets nearby. Gets taken out. Gets taken out then by KJ.
Last player standing.
And
All
it
of
is
Delagio
all-
gets sprayed through the smoke.
Attackers win.
And that is second map to Columbia.
And that's going to be it, I think.
That's gonna be it. That's 2 maps for Columbia, which means games are over tonight.
Yep, that was a sweep by Columbia College, hitting all their shots, especially the ones in the big moments, especially with the ones with the sheriffs. Just not something that MSU were able to replicate this game, and that was the big, that was the big moment.
As a bit of consolation, Slam is match MVP for this match. Slam putting in a lot of kills on that map. I think just kind of, as you were saying, kind of throughout, just MSU was just not hitting their shots like we needed them to in order to kind of keep the momentum going. Meanwhile, Columbia was really on top of their shooting on their gunplay. They were hitting pretty much everything.
Yep, and especially a player like Carnage and Evo, when they were being swung, they would hit that shot. They would wipe out whatever pressure was going to them, and that really halted a lot of MSU's offense because they could not push into those players, and the rest of the team was just following behind that kind of pressure.
And kind of taking a look at first bloods here as well. Slammed, has the 4 first bloods, but Carnage and Switchblade both have 4 first bloods each, meaning they were aggressive. Columbia was a very aggressive team, and when MSU tried to respond to that a couple times, Columbia was kind of expecting it and able to kind of just pick them off.
Another thing is, I don't think MSU was prepared for the style they were playing. I
don't think
mean,
MSU has gone
first-
against this aggressive of a team before.
Yeah, first map, it's one thing. It's a new comp. It's definitely off meta, and so it's probably not something you'll see much. But this comp, it's very similar to the meta, but they played it so differently and so effectively, and MSU was just not prepared for it. I don't think.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that some of those nights happen. It was just one of those games. For MSU, this is our first week back from our winter break. I don't know about Columbia. Columbia could have been back already last week. I know there are a couple universities in Michigan that started back the 8th of January.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we started just this past Monday. So, it's a little bit of a new. That's necessarily not a great excuse for players, their off time, but it is a break from the university life, which means it is a time for our players to relax. It is time for people to enjoy the holidays and spend time with their families. So if that means they're not practicing, I think that's fair.
Yep.
And first game of the new year, not the worst game that could have happened. First map was pretty close. Second map was kind of just a little more like, I think, just the vibe.
Yep.
The feeling was off.
Momentum was
the
off.
players just weren't hitting their shots like we're used to them hitting like they did last semester. But we have more things to come. For those of you who are just kind of coming into the last bit of this was the grand finals for CVAL in the Great Lakes area. And now kind of starting next week, we have PEC.
Yep, new tournament.
We will have games pretty much every week. On Mondays, we will have Rocket League. Wednesdays will be Valorant. And Thursdays will be Smash.
Yep, and then we're going to see if we can fill out a little bit more of the schedule, see if we can get a little bit more so, you guys don't get 1 a week and maybe possibly 2. Maybe if you're lucky 3 of the same game, but probably just up to 2. at most. But
How do you mean?
if I remember,
We're streaming all three.
yeah,
we're
no,
streaming
no, no.
3 games a
I
week.
meant like for one game. So like Valorant, we might get a second game throughout a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a chance of that. We're gonna kind of see how it is.
Yeah, we're gonna
kind
test
of-
it by eye.
Well, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right now, though, we can guarantee you there will be at least 3 streams a week. One on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday.
Yep. So I think that will be wrapping up. So for the students who are new to MSU coming into the spring semester, we heavily welcome you to the school. Hopefully, we'll bring you some wins in the future. I mean, probably not the best way to start the semester, but it's an unlucky game.
Yeah,
It's an
it was
unlucky
just
game.
an unlucky game. Yeah, for those of you who are also kind of just interested in kind of sports in general at MSU, there is a basketball game on Sunday against Illinois. It's kind of shaping up to be kind of, I think, going to be a big game.
Yeah, both teams are heavily ranked. I think MSU is ranked 16th, up there in the teens.
Yeah.
12th.
12th. Yeah, we're ranked
Oh, we
12th.
moved up. And then I think
we've been playing
Illinois,
well.
and then I believe Illinois is probably in the high teens, so around 19 or something.
I haven't. It's been a while since I looked. Yeah, it's about
Around
there. Yeah, I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, both teams are very strong. So
And then I think we also, I think the Lions play this Sunday as well. Oh, they play. Okay, Lions are gonna also play
So,
Saturday.
this weekend is going to be
While
fun.
it's not, MSU sports, the Lions are a very important Detroit team here in Michigan. We really rooting for them. They should. I want them to be going to the Super Bowl. They have a chance of doing it, which would be huge. We haven't gotten this far since I think like the '60s. So
a lot of Michigan denizens are really hoping on this one season, and I mean, so far they're the favorites, so
Yeah.
definitely shaping up.
definitely.
And yeah, so make sure to support MSU on Sunday. It's going to be a big game, so either if you're in the stands or if you're watching TV, just make sure you're watching that game and supporting MSU. New semester, so we're wishing you all luck on your grades, making sure you make new friends and making sure you enjoy the environment here. I mean, MSU is a great school. The environment's been nice. Everyone's been treating me well, so I'll
Yes.
say it's nice.
And even with the winter weather, MSU's kind of infrastructure and planning facilities team and all of the staff here at MSU do a really good job to make sure that the roads, sidewalks, and everything is safe and good for MSU students and faculty to travel around on. Being a school in Michigan, we kind of are a little used to the weather, but even when it gets really bad, we will have pretty much plows here pretty much almost immediately with 911 being able to clear out areas as well to make sure people don't accidentally get stuck in areas. And I mean, yeah, go green.
Go white.
Have a great night.
When do we give up? When do we just close our eyes and say, that's it? This water's too polluted. This disease too far along. To a Spartan, the answer is simple. Never. Because Michigan State was founded on the belief that our purpose is to make the world a better place. And when you're open to unconventional thinking, you value people's differences and are willing to work harder, push farther, and forge true partnerships. Then and only then can you solve the world's toughest problems. Better, faster. Like renewable energy, clean water, Parkinson's disease, and fighting malaria. Things Spartans work on every single day, all without fanfare. Because we know our true triumph lies in the impact we make on the world around us. And after all, if we don't do it, who will? Spartans will.